What's up, y'all? This is Jacob Hardie with Beyond the Hedges. I'm here with my co-star,
Terrell Foster.
And our new guest,
Jack Wright.
First off, we want to give a shout out to the Retreat on Milledge for letting us host this episode. Please check out the Retreat on Milledge for your fall 2025 year. They got great amenities, great housing, affordable prices, and great overall service.
Check it out.
So, coming off a crazy win this past Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah.
A normal set of
Normal Friday night lights.
You feel me? Just 8 overtime. Shit, 8 overtime.
Second longest game in college football history. No
and
biggie.
we really were one overtime from just tying that,
Yeah.
which is nuts. It going back to back had me just like, I was sitting there like, oh my God.
Yeah. What was it like going from one end to the other, from one end to the other, from one end to the other? Like,
it was just straight shot after shot.
I ain't go back from one end to the other. I stay by the heater, but my head moved. My head was back and forth.
Okay. Oh yeah.
No, it was freezing. I cheered though.
I was excited. Like it's funny because like when situations like that happen on the field, like honestly, I'm learning how it goes down as it happens. I'm like, okay, wait, someone explain the overtime to me real quick.
Yeah.
Low key.
Because like after, I'm like,
I didn't know when it switched to 2 point.
Exactly. I was like, I was sitting there like, so why are we doing 2 points now? Like, okay, and it just you learn about all the stuff as it goes. But that's low key how football be up until like a point, you just like kind of learn as it goes.
Kinda. Yeah. Now, obviously with the overtime change, I know a lot of people in the stadium were very confused. Like, sitting in the stadium, like with people around me. And during the second overtime, they're like, "Why are we going for 2? Why are they going for 2? What are we doing?" And then all of a sudden, we're set up on the 2-yard line every time.
Yeah,
there was a lot of confusion.
Yeah, we were lost too. Because when I saw them go for 2, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's stupid." Like, and then we went for 2. I was like, "Damn!"
We all just done.
I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Bro, why are we going for 2, bro?" Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah, that's actually funny.
No, it was a fantastic game though, all around.
No, it was a great game.
A lot of people showed up. A lot of people showed up this game.
Yeah. Still didn't wear the black.
That's a whole different topic, bro. We ain't never wearing black, bro.
No, we not.
We ain't never wearing black.
So obviously, with it being a great game, long game, 5-hour long game.
Yeah.
We didn't get off to a hot start.
No, we did not.
Did not. Down big at halftime, but as the game went on, in the stadium, it felt like there was a momentum shift. Where did y'all on the field feel like that momentum shift came?
Like the specific play I think of was when Dan forced that fumble out. That's when I felt like people really got back into the game. Like we started gradually coming back in the third quarter.
How did your mindset shift throughout the game? Like obviously the deficit at halftime, the mindset was come back and win. But how did it shift throughout the game when it went from dang, we really need points to, all right, we're back in this to, all right, we can win this game?
Yeah.
I think, Terrell can probably attest to it too. I think with Coach Kirby, the way he trains our minds, and I'll just be honest, the way, not even just Coach Kirby, everybody in the facility trains us to just always be ready to go. It really stayed the same the whole time.
Yeah.
With the fans, and I know I said that part, but fans, the people who are just watching or people who are just fans of football, just watching the game, it kind of feels like, oh, they got to do this or they got to do this. We knew to win when we were down by, what was it, 20 to 6 at half?
Yeah, 17 zip at half, I think.
17 zip at half. We were like, okay, we got to get this. We got to do this drive by drive. And this is how we going to win. At the end of the day, the main goal, no matter what the score was we got to come back and win.
Yeah.
So I don't really think the mindset was always the same. We got to go out and do what we got to do.
Yeah. That's true right there. Yeah, for sure. Like, the only thing that really changed, like, just the level of excitement that you start to feel in the air.
It starts coming up.
As it starts to shift. Because obviously the stadium is dead. Like, we're down. You was down at home, 17 at halftime.
To a rival.
To a big rival.
Yeah, I get it.
To an in-state rival. But, I mean, as the energy of the game shifted, it shifted in the right direction for us. So.
It did, yeah. But I don't think that stuff really, in terms of the mindset, we always stick with we got to win. The standard, like you said, the mindset is the standard. We just got to keep pushing out what we got to push out.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a big part that led into the comeback that was Carson's confidence and Carson's ability to lead drives time after time after time. Mm-hmm. And that's something that in the middle of the season, Georgia fans, I know the team didn't, but Georgia fans were kind of looking at like, can he lead us to where we want to go because of the struggles that he did have? What has it been like in the last 3 weeks to watch him build that confidence back and become that All-American player, first-round draft pick that we all saw at the beginning of the season?
Man, Carson's cold. Carson is a cold dude. Carson is cold-blooded. That is we knew this was, and clearly he had his struggles and all that stuff. But as a team, we always stuck behind him. Nobody was ever looking for no change. Not to say that the people behind him aren't talented and well deserving, but we knew our quarterback was our quarterback, and we knew what he was capable of. And now he's showing the world. He just had to get back to what we know he can do. And there's no other quarterback I'd rather have running our team than Carson. Yeah. And I'm happy with who we got. And I trust in him, and I know that the rest of the team does too.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just good to be confident. Seeing Carson have confidence in himself also gives the team confidence in him. Because obviously we're going to stick with him. You don't want to change your quarterback mid-season like that. You want the offense to have his flow, have his guys, and
Yeah, you got to keep it in rhythm.
Yeah, it's been good seeing him start to let loose now.
Yeah.
Let the offense open up. Use the weapons we got.
There was a moment in the Tennessee game where me personally, I saw it click. Yeah. And it was those back-to-back strikes to Delp. Yeah. They looked like they had some extra oomph and they had confidence. It doesn't make a lot of sense saying it out, but the balls looked confident.
You know when you're throwing it when it's you know.
And that's what I thought the tables turned for him, where he was like, okay, I know who I am. I know what we have. Yeah. Let's go win a national championship.
Because his arm talent is insane.
Insane.
Yeah. The way he slings the ball and he can put it. I think the touchdown he had to Dom, I saw it whenever we have a game, I like watching the highlights of it next to see how it looked different from the TV standpoint. And I saw the touchdown pass he threw to Dom. He threw within 4 people.
In overtime?
No, the one down the seam.
Oh, yeah.
The one down the seam. He threw that between 4 people, but it was a laser, and the 4 people didn't even phase him.
That's crazy.
It's a confident throw.
It's insane.
Very confident throw.
His arm talent's insane.
So, obviously, Carson having a great game. Defense made some stops down the stretch, but let's give some credit where credit's due. Tech played a great game.
No, Tech is good. Tech is good.
Yeah, they did. They pride themselves in just running the ball, and they ran it.
Shout out Haynes King. No, that's a dog. Haynes King, a dog.
He to be a quarterback and carry the ball 20, 30 times,
something like that,
and just take all those shots. Yeah, no, he was definitely.
That's a dog. Haynes King, a dog.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta give respect where it's due.
They did a great job of both running the ball, and running the clock. Mm. That was a big factor that ended up coming into play down the stretch where. They had 8-minute drives where they would just hand off, inside zone, dink, dink, dink.
Yep.
All short plays. They limit their incompletions, which is something that I was noticing in the stands during the game. They limit incompletions, which was such a massive factor in running the clock down. You don't see them take very many shots, which is a huge part of their game plan, which I think we keyed into in the second half a lot more, where we figured out they're not going to go over the top on us. Let's close it down a little bit, and let's make sure we can stop the run. And I think that was another turning point in the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They have a good team, and I know Coach Buster, he's their coordinator now. He came from here, and I remember learning so much from him. So I know he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's got those dudes running a great program over there.
Yeah, and they have a great future in front of them. But
they're a good team, for sure.
So, big rivalry game. Obviously, came out on top of this one at home. Yeah. But around the country, there were some other games, some other rivalry games that happened on the road for some of these opponents where they decided to put their mark in the middle of the field or plant a flag. What are y'all's thoughts on planting flags? We'll go from both sides.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on planting flags if you beat somebody in their house? What are your thoughts on planting the flag?
I think it's lit, bro, to be honest. It really sets it off, especially when it's the game, and you got the whole intense rivalry with it. When you bring out that flag, it just, I don't know, I think it just sets the atmosphere, right? You come in there and you're supposed to try to, you feel me, take what's there, and at their home stadium. Yeah. And I like the energy it brings. Obviously, it led to some.
I'm gonna be honest, I think, we hear it all the time. The boomer society definitely tells us our society's got soft, and I kind of agree. It's part of it. Football's a physical sport, and then you're mad when dudes start I've been punching and striking this dude all day, but now because I punch and strike him after the whistle, it's
it's
it is what it's not gonna be. It's only gonna be so diplomatic. We play a gladiator sport. Dudes' emotions are gonna run. I think it's natural.
It just happens.
I don't think you're wrong for planting the flag, and I don't think you're wrong for trying to stop somebody from planting the flag on your field. I think it's part of what football is. Mm-hmm. Luckily, it didn't happen, but. In an alternate universe, if Georgia Tech would have, beat us and they planted their flag on our field, I'm not gonna say they have the right to do so. We definitely wouldn't have let it happen. But I don't think us going back and forth over that is that bad. I'm gonna be honest.
Justified?
I think it's part of the environment of football. You know, it's a gladiator sport. Dudes' emotions are high. Hey, we feel like we beat you. We feel like this is our home now.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We're fighting over it. That's how the sport is.
Yeah. Kind of a sidebar. What are your thoughts on this happened in the USC Notre Dame game? A player punching another player in the face with a face mask on.
That's stupid.
I think it's the dumbest thing.
That's dumb.
And obviously, I'm not on the field.
Is dumb. It definitely, but I think it's just like, I guess people like, it's a natural reaction, just like throw a punch at him or something. Because it's like, it really is harmless. You don't do nothing to him.
You're hurting yourself.
It's actually
more than
harmful to
hurting
you.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's random.
It was dumb. I saw that play. I don't know what.
I mean, he came down hard. He came down.
He punched him.
He literally like Superman punched him from
like
above.
he didn't just jab like in his face.
Yeah.
Like he wound up and hit him.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. Everybody, I don't even know.
Oh no, it was bad.
I think for me as a fan, obviously as a player, you can say otherwise, but I think our rivalry is different with Tech than it is like Michigan Ohio State. Obviously the hatred is there, but I feel like there's respect between the two teams a lot more. Those two teams purely hate each other and do not respect one another when it comes to Ohio State, Michigan. Mm-hmm. I feel like we respect Tech a little more than like if we were to go to their house and.
I think it's the in-state part.
Is it?
I do. For the most part, I think it's in-state and respect to both head coaches. Mm-hmm. Neither coach. From what I read and hear about Coach Brent Key, he seems like a very no-nonsense, heavy discipline guy, and we definitely know Kirby is no-nonsense, heavy discipline guy.
Yeah.
Ain't like I'm talking all this flag planting stuff. Ain't none of that was happening. If we beat Tech, we beat Tech at their place last year. We tried to pull out the flag, we would have been running for years. So I'm talking, but I think that more goes to the coaches, not to disrespect other teams' coaches and to say that they don't have a grip on their team. But I know I'm not pulling that foolishness out with Kirby. And from what I see and hear about Coach Key at Georgia Tech, I don't think any of their players are pulling that. Doing that. I think that's more. I think the respect more comes from, hey, we hate these dudes on the field. You know, we don't have to like them, off the field, but we're only going but so far.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that's more led from your coach and your organization. I don't think that's down to the players.
Yeah. And in these rivalry games this past weekend, we saw like the Michigan Ohio State game. I mean, they were 19.5-point dogs, I think. They were almost 20-point dogs. In these rivalry games, from y'all's perspective, are the records completely thrown out the window?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's almost like when you have a team that you just like, that the whole, I guess, almost foundation of the team is built on beating them. It's like you take the approach to the game is completely different. Like you have to build up something personal about the game, and teams just attack that different.
Yeah, and I think we have a couple games like that during the year where records are just gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, barring some wild circumstance and a blowout either way.
Yeah.
Auburn, I feel like
I was really about to. That was
we play Auburn,
Florida.
Yep, Auburn, Florida, Tech.
Yeah.
Like
Auburn, Florida, Tech, they don't
Always.
matter.
and it doesn't matter if they're 0-12 or if they're 12-0. Like we're going to play those games close.
It will be a game.
Which I think adds a bunch of excitement to our schedule every year. Like
Always,
You always know you got at least 3 games.
That you
Or even Tennessee.
yeah, Tennessee too. Well, I mean, Tennessee is always good. Always playing tight.
Those games, no matter the record, they always gonna bring their best, and you got to bring your best too. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of moving more across the country still. Up in New York, one of a former dog had quite the day against Miami.
Shout out Meeks.
Yeah. No, yeah, bro. I love to see like situations like Meeks to happen. Like when he just he couldn't find the opportunity here to like get as much playing time as he would have seen. And he goes up there and balls, and it's just so great. Every time I see him posting him doing his like random celebration,
I don't know what this is that they do in Syracuse, but y'all love it.
I like it now.
I like it. I don't know what it means, but I'm rocking.
I love to see him ball up there for real. Like I hope he keeps doing his big one. This is last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He drafted. He definitely getting drafted now.
Go get paid.
Yeah.
Meeks getting drafted.
For sure.
Dallas Cowboys, go pick him up. The CD needs help. CD needs help.
Yeah. Give up on that, bro.
I think it's especially fun to see him do it with another familiar face with their head coach, Coach Fran Brown.
Fran is such a fun, like a good clown. Before y'all try to misquote what I'm saying, he's hilarious.
I love seeing Fran up there, bro. Like I like seeing because we all know
he's
Fran,
so unserious.
But now seeing him as a head coach and like the stuff he does on like the TV, I'm like, bro, he talking about You talking about appreciate Dabo? I got you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The Dabo one, Dabo was kind of disrespectful. It was hard, but I was like, damn.
I like seeing Fred up there.
The no shower.
When he was in going like this, I thought that was hilarious.
I'm happy he does it because I did used to get on him, and if he sees this, he'll know he never used to wear lotion in meetings. No, he used to be ashy as hell, flakes off.
Ashy,
so I believe him. I believe that whole no shower thing because he used to be like flaky.
When he first got here, he was sleeping in the office.
Like,
he was so locked in to learn.
He was so locked in
to know everything. I'll give Fred his the reason he was in and out because how good of a coach he was. He grinded. His attention to detail and how it be he's to that level there the coaches around.
He wanted to be a head coach. When he knew, not to say he came here with a scheme, but he knew his goal. He knew his goal. I want to be a head coach and I want to learn from the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And he took it serious. He almost was studying like he was almost a player.
Yeah. Fred came in here and everyone respected him immediately just off how intense and how much he dedicated to everything. He's I'm just trying to see you win. He's in people's faces, making sure they know how much he cares. And I love that about Fran.
I like Fran.
Yeah.
Fran's a good dude. I'm happy they're doing well up there. He definitely turned around Syracuse like that.
Do they have 8 or 9 wins this year? I think 9 wins.
I think that was 9.
3 losses?
9-3.
Yeah, I think
9-3. I mean, he turned them around big time.
Literally, I promise you, we're gonna see more of Syracuse.
Oh yeah, they're gonna keep recruiting, especially where he is in that area. There's a lot of talent, and if he can keep those dudes in that, Philly, New York, where they are, he's gonna find some dudes
up from there.
Another big storyline with him is Kyle McCord.
Oh yeah,
he flipped around that dude.
He did do his big one with that one. He did a big one.
I can't imagine the day Kyle McCord had watching the team that gave up on him lose to Michigan and then following that up with a massive upset win, a 350-yard performance.
4 TDs.
4 TDs, 350 yards against the number 6 team in the country. I can't imagine the day that he had just mentally, just like.
No, that's great.
That's good. That's the type of stuff as a player that you just kind of because there's a whole bunch of mental things you go through, and especially him. Yeah. I remember last year those Ohio State fans were at his neck.
Yeah, they
big time
every week. So get rid of them.
I don't know the guy personally, but I know that can't be easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then having to leave and go to Syracuse, but the season he's had, I know he's probably feeling like he's on cloud 9. So I'm happy for him. Yeah. Without knowing him, I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Definitely a happy story. The college football world, I think, is cheering for him to succeed, which is really cool to see and obviously very uplifting for him.
Yeah, he deserves that.
But going from conference to conference, there's a big argument right now in college football about the SEC and the Big 10. And the Big 10 right now currently has 4 of the top 10 teams. I think the SEC has 3 of the top 10 teams, but 7 of the top 20. What are your thoughts on this divisional or this conference rivalry that has developed between the SEC and the Big 10?
It ain't a rivalry.
And I don't know. It's kind of funny when we talk about it because I think it's just it's harder to rank, especially when we play a lot of each other. SEC schools play a lot of each other. It's just when you see Vandy beating Alabama, does that not make you think maybe the competition is a little different?
I think a lot of people were calling us out for being a weaker conference. I think it shows how deep the SEC is more than it does how weak the top is.
Exactly. And it shows improvement. When you compare strength, SEC schools to the Big 10 schools and who they're playing in comparative to their strength, it's just it. I don't know. We act like it's not obvious. It's obvious.
So, in the future, when we have. Because eventually, the thought is that eventually the 2 conferences are going to merge.
Super conference, yeah.
So when that happens, that's going to lead to some very entertaining games and a lot of arguments being resolved when it comes to those kind of games.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's just going to change the whole atmosphere of the whole where the central power is. I think all the talent's going to become more dispersed and become a merged conference, in my opinion.
I do too, because I think there are kids who grow up wanting to play in the game for the Big 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Or wanting to play in Bama versus Auburn
in
the SEC. So I think when all those things kind of can join, it'll kind of damn. You might even make new rivalries. I'm making something up Georgia, Penn State. Or I know Penn State's played Auburn in history.
Yeah, they played a couple times.
That might be a new rivalry or something like that. I think all that stuff is good for college football.
Yeah.
And kind of adding to the new rivalries and things, we've kind of seen an interesting influx of talent in college football. Right now in the top 10, you see SMU's in the top 10, Boise State's in the top 10, Arizona State's made a big climb. Do you think that is strictly due to NIL, these teams?
I think it has a lot to do.
I think NIL plays a lot into
it. Yeah, because it allows a team to who you probably already have decent players, but like you feel like you need to bring a better talent in, and through resources, outside resources, NIL, advertisements, etc. You can you have the ability to go out there and get players and more easily convince them to come to your program. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it obviously shown through the game, through this whole season, like the way certain teams have won and certain teams have lost. It's shown. It's definitely shown.
And I think to the teams who are doing it well and using NIL well, it's kind of showing the teams who are struggling to get hit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we some teams might choose to only use the portal. We know how those teams are doing. How are those teams doing? And then we find teams that are strongly against the portal, and we see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I think that you got to find the balance. I think some teams that are figuring out, okay, we might go grab a couple players here. Kind of using it as a weapon. A weapon, but not really like we're building our whole team or we're not building our whole team. It doesn't have to be to extreme. You just kind of got to find a balance.
Yeah.
So I think eventually everybody's going to figure out, okay, this is the way to handle this, and everybody will kind of start evening out again.
Yeah. Talking to Miles, he said something interesting, like with this 12-team playoff, he said it felt like a video game seeing some of the potential matchups that we had because, I mean, there's a world where we play Boise State, there's a world where we play Arizona State, there's a world where we play Oregon, there's a world where we play all these teams that we wouldn't usually play in the regular season or even in the postseason. And I think it's created such an excitement around college football this season. So that'll lead right into a game that I'd like to play here at the end to wrap this up. So we're going to draft our ideal college football team. So you'll each draft it, and you can't use Georgia. Georgia is off limits, obviously.
All right, for sure.
So the thing the topic we'll start with.
I like it.
We'll start with you, and we'll do kind of a snake. So we'll go one. You each pick stadium, and then.
Okay.
So the first one we'll go is if you had to pick a college stadium to play in. I mean, we kind of already talked about it, but if you had to pick this is your home stadium. You are building a college football team. What stadium are you picking?
I'll let you go first.
Okay.
I had to think about this one though.
It's a tough question. I'll give you one of my personal answers. I think playing at Kyle Field is
which one?
Texas A&M.
That was my second choice.
Texas A&M is loud, and it's a big stadium, and those fans are really passionate.
Yeah, that was my second choice if he took my first one. But since he's not, Death Valley, LSU.
Nice.
I want LSU Stadium.
Okay, that's a good one too. I think I'm gonna go with Texas.
Okay.
You did talk about that game.
It might just be like the energy they brought around the whole game and stuff. But I just loved being in that stadium was so fun. It was like probably like one of the other experiences where like I wasn't really just enjoying just the energy of the fans. Like the whole entertainment they had there was cool. Even though just like all the noise outside, like all that stuff was cool to me.
Yeah.
I would choose LSU, but Texas. Yeah. Texas was a close one. It was LSU, Texas A&M, or Texas.
Yeah.
Was my top three.
The fans are different down there.
Yeah.
All right. Next we'll go uniforms. So this is your favorite uniforms in college football.
He gonna take it.
Oh, everyone gonna say Oregon. I thought Oregon's like an easy pick. It's just because of the Nike poster shop. Like they get all the nice. There's so much variety, so much customization. It's just like they're iconic. All their uniforms are iconic.
That's fair.
Honestly, if I'm going uniforms, Oregon's clearly
number one.
It's a top tier.
There's an upper echelon when it comes to uniforms.
Of course.
Coach Kirby, we could take.
Stop it.
Maybe with the black. Maybe just a black. We don't got to do all the designs, but we could drop a black. We could drop a black.
I want to see the white helmets so bad.
You ain't never gonna see
that one. You ain't never seen.
It, bro.
I would, if I gotta go uniforms, I'm either going honestly who gets slept on a lot, Maryland. Mm-hmm. I like Maryland's uniforms.
That's true. They do.
Maryland's got a good arsenal.
Under Armour
and Ole Miss. That powder blue and that red is sweet looking.
It is
that powder blue and red.
That's like my favorite type of blue too.
Yeah, no, they got to their color combo. They do it well. I like theirs.
Okay, good
choice.
One
that I think is kind of slept on. UNC has some hard uniforms.
UNC, you know who I was about? Utah. Utah's is hard.
I don't know about Utah.
UNC has some good
UNC has some good
uniforms.
ones.
Yeah, UNC is tough. Yeah,
But some of those teams you got away, is it the jersey or the color though?
I think their colors
colors,
are sick.
yeah,
They
I
also have those patterns, those that like checkered pattern.
That's true,
I think their
that's true,
helmets
that's
they have those
Color
chrome
carriers.
blue helmets.
The color, I was say the color is hard. The color is
The patterns are solid.
Yeah.
The colors.
not to diss. Notre Dame's uniform design is very nice.
Yeah.
But that color is terrible. The colors are terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
That green with navy blue and gold, none of that foolishness goes together.
You don't rock with the pinstripes?
No. All that foolishness. All that
The
foolishness
gold
can kick
helmet?
rocks.
It's iconic.
The gold helmet, they're traditional uniforms. They're traditional, but like
Yeah.
all that frilly foolishness they got now.
Yeah. All
All right, next we'll go with a mascot. So you can't pick the
Can't
Bulldogs.
pick Ugga, yeah.
You can't pick the Bulldogs. So it's your team mascot. So like Bulldogs, Tigers.
Okay.
The most memorable mascot to me is either Oregon or LSU. Like those are just the most memorable ones to
You
me.
tripping?
Who you saying?
Sebastian the Ibis. I'm picking the Canes, Miami.
The Hurricanes?
Yes, bro.
Oh,
You don't know about
Sebastian
Sebastian?
the
I'm
Ibis?
picking. Yes, Sebastian. I'm picking.
Ibis.
I told you I grew up a Miami fan. Sebastian. I'm going Sebastian. Sebastian's one of the coolest mascots in college football.
It's a bird.
It's a bird. It's another word for a
Hey,
cane.
mascot. You gotta
You
try to
look
tell me this obscure little bird.
look up Miami
It's the
Hurricanes.
best- it's
Look
the
up
best
Sebastian
mascot.
in the 80s and 90s when the Hurricanes were going off. Sebastian's wearing military camo. He coming to games with a gun. Like he was doing everything. No, like Sebastian was hard. No, Sebastian's hard. Sebastian's hard.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
taking.
gonna respect your choice.
No, I'm taking Sebastian.
But-
I'm taking
yeah,
Sebastian.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So you're going.
I'm gonna stick in Oregon. I have like a distinct memory of just like the Oregon mascot, like that being one of the most memorable. Like the one dude, I don't know what the black suit. It's such a throwback. I can't.
BYU.
The Cougar?
BYU's mascot is
BYU
legendary.
Yeah, okay.
He does some crazy
Because
stuff.
he be dancing and stuff too.
He does all like
He does the flips and
yeah,
stuff.
he does all the
Yeah,
flips.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll take theirs. I'm taking BYU.
Solid choice. Solid
So
choice.
you're stealing the Ibis?
I didn't want to sorry.
No, I'm taking BYU.
So you're going BYU. What's your choice?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick Oregon.
So you're building Oregon and
Yeah,
Austin.
that's like
All right.
Yeah, you know.
So
you know.
last one. This is more of a fan base. Where is your college going to be?
Our fan base, like
Where's the it's more the fan base based on like the location, the fans, the actual physical location too.
where is my
Where is the
stadium
school?
located?
so the location picks the fans too.
Essentially.
Okay.
So
Oh,
you, like,
that
you can
changes
pick
it.
I ain't gonna lie, that
Off
changes what I was about to say.
Because off location, I was about to say Miami. Straight location.
off
I was about to say
location, I
Miami.
was gonna pick DC, but I ain't gonna lie. Our fans,
Yeah. But I don't know.
they've been
I don't
rocking
know
with the
Miami.
Commanders this year.
Commanders?
They've been rocking with the Commanders this year.
Okay,
But
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm. Nah, I change it. I've changed
That's a hard question then.
If you
I'm gonna
add
keep
the
it in
fans,
Austin.
if
I'm
you
keeping Austin in Austin. Actually, I'm gonna put it in Houston. Just because I think Houston's a better city. I don't know what the difference is.
Okay.
I just know more about Houston.
You just trying to go party. You just trying to
You
get
gotta put it in lit cities. It's like Athens, bro, but you level up.
locate. When you add the fans, that changes the.
It does, bro.
What would be a sweet place?
You know who's got some? It's
Ooh.
not a terrible. Like it's not a good location, but you know who's
Okay.
got some? Nebraska has some crazy
does
fans.
have
Athens
crazy
had
fans.
nuts, man. Yeah, that's true. Terrible location.
But I would not picture in
Terrible
Nebraska.
location. Awful
Yeah,
location.
no motion.
Awful location.
Damn. You know what? I'm gonna keep it hometown. I'm going DC, Washington DC. I believe the
Why
program.
stadium?
The program I'm gonna run, they're gonna love us because we're gonna be. They do love when their teams are winning, and they
Yeah.
will show out when they're winning.
Of course.
So the program I'm gonna run, we're gonna be disciplined,
That's
but we're gonna
solid.
have fun,
Solid.
and we're gonna attack the day, and we're gonna win games. So I'm putting us back home, Washington DC.
Love it.
So if you were a recruit, who are you going to play for? Coach Hardie or Coach Foster?
Coach Foster.
I'm giving out straight NIL deals,
Man, we in the
super big money packages.
Man, we in Texas. We got it. We got it. I don't know what he think he got over there, but NIL at the woozah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sydney Sweeney's coming to every game. Every recruit just signed, buddy.
And we'd like to thank the retreat again for having us for another episode of Beyond the Hedges. Y'all go check them out for next year's fall.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
So,